Okay, this is it's gonna be a long video. We're gonna do the map for the game. Uh, I'm in the mini map west um, scene, which you can find it on plugins, install game creator. No, actually, game creator install west example mini map. Okay. Um, see mini map one. I didn't make all the sting. Anyway. So we want to have a button or something where we can actually activate the map and can see from above. So here it is. We will create an empty one and we will call map camera. Now inside map camera we will add a game creator camera shoot. Now this camera shoot, we will call camera shoot map, and it will be a fixed position. It's active player, it's active, nope. And we leave it like that. Okay, since I'm having it on another project, I'm switching from one to second to actually remember how I've done this. There are many things and I don't want to waste time. So we will put the activation and activation, it will have a trigger, which it will be when we actually open the map. It will be on input button, and let's say that we want to open it on tab button, and we have an action over here that we change to the shoot. And on this one we actually change to the shoot, this one. And we create another one. This one, it will create a deactivation. On my game I have another way how I actually activate and deactivate. So in this one it will deactivate, it will change to the camera shoot, the main one, and it will set active. It will set active this one to true and himself to false. And this one, when we change to the camera of the map, we have to set active this one to true and himself to false. So now we need the camera shot to see where is it. So there, we will put it here, up here. And we have to switch this camera to about 90 degrees over here. And has to be above the player. Let's see if until here is working. So I press tab and tab, tab and tab. But it's still staying still, it's not moving with the player. So we have to make it to actually follow the player. No, actually it doesn't need to follow the player. He actually needs to do a couple of things more. When we actually activate the camera map, it doesn't need the player to move anymore. So on activation, we will set the character controller. Where is it? Control. It's controllable. So this is when it's getting activation, the player it will get not controllable above here, and here it will get controllable. Yes, or we deactivate everything is getting controllable. Okay, now then we need to actually move the camera. So for moving the camera, we have to create the controls. So let's create the camera control, and over here we will add a trigger, and we will say on input button will be keyboard press. No, actually it will be keyboard while pressing, because while we do this, it will be W. This will be forward, and we will say move. Move. No, actually it's change position. This one change position. There is another change position on the hub of Game Creator. If you want to search for it, is V3. It's having a extra add for some UI things. Somewhere you might have a bug in the self thing with a normal Game Creator change position, so that V3 can help you. For this experiment, we will use this. So we want to move the camera shot, which is this one. And we actually, what we want over here is to add on the Z, we want to add 1, and over here 0, because Z is this one, so you want to go forward with the camera. Space it will be self, duration 0. Now we're gonna create another trigger like this, copy and paste components as new. So this one is forward. We have to create one backward, which it will be S. Can be done even with a mouse, like when you go with a mouse left to right, up and down. I will probably make a video even for that, but it's a little bit more, let's say, complicated to combine all of them. And let's do first this, and then I'll do an extra video for that. This one, it will be the same thing, only that instead of being on Z, to add it will be actually subtract, because he actually has to go back. Okay, now this one is backward. We add another one. Base component as new. This one it will be on the A, which is gonna be left. So over here we have 0, and left, since epsilon is above, it will be on X. It will be to add. And then we have another one Oh my god, we have to close all of this. This one, it will be on the D key, and here it will be 0, and here it will be still 1, but it will be subtract. So let's see if until over here it's actually working. The problem is that this camera will actually work independently. So I press tab, and now I can move the camera, which I don't see it anymore. It's moving a little bit too fast. Let's wait a little bit more. Tab. Okay, this is backward. So left and right has to be reverse, which means this one is gonna be add, and this one is gonna be, so this add, and A, it will be subtract. Okay, so until here we have, but we don't have the zoom. Let me see, this one is the movement. So we create the zoom. Zoom. Here we create a trigger, and it will be on scroll. Scroll. Mouse well scroll. If you don't have this one, this trigger, you can find it on Game Creator Hub. So I will say on Game Creator scroll up, we have to run some conditions over here. Be aware that there are run condition and check conditions. So we have to be on run conditions. So we will do it conditions under, and then we take this condition, we drag them here. Now this one we can actually close, and we add a branch. Now in the branch, let me see which I use compare decimal. Okay, that's weird. So we add a compare decimal, and we will compare the value of the position over here, epsilon of the game object, and it will be the game object map camera, which is this one, to be less or equal with over here we give 35, and I will show you why. Because if we scroll too much up or too much down, we go too much under the player or too much above. But before we actually do that, before we actually create this condition, yeah, this one we call it zoom control, and zoom limits actually. And under this we create another one, and this one it will be zoom in, and we go with the trigger and scroll up, and it will be change position, and over here we will change the position of the camera, and we will add subtract on the epsilon, and we will say about 3. In this way it will go up by 3, and then we double in this, and this it will be zoom out. It will go outside, and it will be on scroll down, and it will be, instead of subtract, it will be add over here. on zoom out. Okay, we can actually try this, and I will do this later. Let's see. So pressing tab, zooming out, as you can see, we can go under the map and too much above the map, can go left and right, up and down. Even if for some reason I don't want to mistake camera, it's acting a little bit strange. It's not going perpendicular, it's going a little bit like diagonal. This is the change position of game creator, the default one. This is the problem that I was speaking about. So over here I'm changing the position on the Z, and instead of going, as you can see over here, instead of going forward, it's going a little forward but to the right side, which I try to understand why, but it's having some kind of problem in the self-moving. Now I will have to change a couple of this. So since we are still here, make sure that you do from the start like this. Change position over here. Actually, we can find this much more fast with V3. Change position V3, and we add the camera over here. And here we add one, and this it will be add self, and we delete this. Trigger second, V3. So it will be subtract on one, camera shot, and we change this one, cancel it. Same over here, V3. You want to see why he's having that problem? Well, be my guess. I've already lost too much time, so I created my own action. I know it's a lazy thing to do, but you know. So this one we can put it like this, and the last one it will be this V3. Same camera shot, and here it will be one, and this it will be add, and this one we can cancel. So let's try now. In my action tab. Oh, what is the thing? In center, and it's going center. Now I don't know why. I try to ask Marty, the developer, why is having that bug. I'm already lost too much time to understand where is the problem. But anyway, so we have this. We have the zoom, but as we see, the zoom is going too much out, too much in. So that's why we was creating those conditions over here in zoom limits, where we actually checking the eye, and I'm gonna show you. We go on the camera map, as you can see over here. We go up. I said 35 should be the limit for outside, I think, and then I put a limit for in. Probably 35 was the minimum, I believe. Yeah, the minimum. Then I create another one for up to not go too much up. You will see that now in the moment. So this one it will be limited. So let's go over here to see. I said when the limit is less or equal than 35. So when I zoom too much in this case, let me find where is the trigger for that. Okay, when the epsilon is less or equal of 35, the zoom in, it will be set active off. Set active zoom in off. Okay, but in the same time, we have to check another branch. and we will say if decimal compare decimal, if the value of the position epsilon on the game object camera over here, it will be too much, less than 210, then in that case we will actually set active the zoom out, because when we actually go under 210 we have to have always the zoom out active to be able to go backward. And this it will be when we actually scrolling again up. Okay, so this is one trigger and one type of conditions. Now we create another trigger over here, and this one guess what, it will be on scroll down, and even over here we will check some condition, actually run conditions. Conditions, not this one. So again over here drag the conditions. On this one we will also check decimal compare, and we will say if position epsilon on the game object camera, it will be greater or equal of 210, so it will go too much in zoom out, then we will set active the zoom out, we will deactivate. Then we add another branch because we have to be able to go back, we have to actually reactivate the zoom in. So in this case we will say compare decimal we will say over here position of the game object again camera shot, and in this case we will say if it's greater than 35, then we have to set active the zoom in to be able to go back. So let's see until here how this thing is going. Probably we will have to put the position of the camera on enable to go at some things. So let's create another one. Over here, and this will be on enable. Now on the activation, this one we have to have it deactivate. On the activation over here we will actually activate something more. We will activate this too, and on deactivation we will deactivate this has to be go up. We have to deactivate this, because otherwise the camera above our head it will go up right and left even if we don't see it, but anyway it's too much processing for CPU for no reason. So this one on enable, it will be a trigger on enable, and over here you know what we will do, we will we have to put the camera to be at some value. So we will use one that is called the vector from float. Now I don't remember if this action there is the game creator or I created, but you can find it on the hub. If not, vector 3 from float. Actually, we can check that very fast. Yeah, here it is. Vector 3 from float. From float value. And this one. Let me see. Because there's only one. So over here we need only the epsilon one. And we want to have it at 35 when we actually activate. Okay. So let's play the game. Let's see. Press tab. And we have an error. On enable. Oh shit, yeah. Didn't put what to have it. So it has to be the camera. Right. So I press tab. And here is the camera. You can see over there. And I can actually go out and in, which is not the things that we want. Let me see if I can go. Okay, so zoom out I've got deactivated. Now I go in. Zoom in is not working, which is pretty strange. So let's see why. Oh, because I didn't reactivate this trigger. Since we activated at 35, which is the minimum, zoom in has to be deactivated from the start. Let's do this again. There are lots of controls over here, and I know that many people are actually losing stuff because they just scroll the video very fast forward. So now I cannot scroll forward, which is zoom in, but I can zoom out. So I can go zoom out, now zoom in. I go zoom in again. Here, this is the maximum. Go zoom out, and this is the maximum. Now this is all good, but if I go like this, a little bit to the left, and I press tab, and then I go with a player somewhere, and then I press tab again. See, I want on enable the camera to actually pinpoint always on my position of my player. So since we have an enable action over here, which actually make the camera to be at a certain level, we can do something else. We can put, we can double it this, and one will be the height of the camera, and the other two, this is the camera, and this is the camera. We can say that has to be this one, which is the position X, can be in the value vector of the character it will be actually a position even here, right? Position Z, and this is the position X. Position X of the character player, and this one it will be position Y of the character player. So this it will actually make the camera to be on enable on my player. See, so I go to the left and I press tab, and we have a problem because the order of the scripts, they are from top to the bottom, so we actually put the height, but then it's changing the position of the X and the position of the epsilon and is ignoring the height. So we make this at the bottom, and that should actually solve the problem. Let's see, if I go to the left, press tab, here it is. Now if I go with the camera on the right over here and I disable it and play it with the player, and then I press tab again, see, it's going the center of the player, which is over there, and I can zoom out and zoom in. You can actually create another button on the map like this one, because maybe you want to go back to where there is the position of the player, and you can do that by put, well, since we have here a canvas, I'm gonna put it here a button. See if I can do this fast without making this as the button over there, but I want it to be a little bit more okay here. And this is a button, we will call it player position. Okay, it's not the best of the best of the best, but anyway, you can then drag image over here like indicator of GPS, something to be much more cool instead of the text. Now what this button is gonna do is gonna do the same thing what I've done over here. So I will just copy this and I will go on the button. This it will be player position. So we go down here, we did this, we paste this. We have to find the camera. Gonna just doubling this and put the camera again. This it will be epsilon, this it will be position epsilon, and then we have to double this again, and again camera shot, and this is Z, position Z. Did I put on enable position? Oh, see, this is why I actually got over there on the, so it's not epsilon over here, correct, it's Z. Now that I was thinking, so it has to be X and Z, because epsilon is the height, so that's why now I can even put this one up there. So it wasn't the order of the. Now let's go to the player position button, back where we was here. I'm gonna just drag this here, this. So with Z character, X character of the player, and then E position, but not of the player over here. Instead of this, we will put decimal. So here decimal, and this one has to be 35 because we don't want to be too much in zoom in. So this player position over here has to get active again when we actually activate the map, and then we have to remember to actually deactivate that button because we don't want that button to be always on the screen. Also, you have to remember, if you have a shooter game, you have to remember to actually put the mouse pointer to be active and deactivate. There is a trigger for that. Now I don't remember, I'm not gonna make this video too much long, but you're gonna find it somewhere. And this one has to be from the start deactivated. So let's see. I go with the player and I press this, And guess what? I surround the map, and then I say I want to go on the player position, and here it is. Or even maybe I'm over here, press tab, I go with the player around the map, and then at one moment I want to see the map, and boom. Yep. Okay, I hope this is gonna work for you, and I hope this is enough. Try to see this video very slow, because otherwise you're gonna lose some details.